I just want to welcome you to the podcast and to my Powerful Manifestor Mastermind community on YouTube, and just really allow people to understand what's possible when you really when you really take aligned action and you really put a lot of focus and energy and, of course, a lot of marketing behind what it is that you're achieving. And I mean, this is Kannary Keo. Kannary has been an RTT hypnotherapist for about a half dozen years. She is a subconscious wiring specialist, rewiring specialist, and she works with a lot of amazing clients. And we're going to get into her strategies, her thought process, and how she has been able to manifest now over six figures in a month in her business. And so, welcome to the show, Cannery. You look amazing.
This is my consultation shirt. When people come on with me and they see my silk and they see the earrings, they're like, she's gonna charge a lot.
I love it. I love it. You know
My
what?
consultation shirt, I carry it with me whenever I do consultations.
Yeah,
When I change out but I keep it right in my purse and I keep it clean and I keep my earrings in there.
we
And I
might.
have other little rituals that I believe has helped me. It's like
Oh,
little rituals. Yeah. Thank you, Victoria. Thanks so much for having me.
well, thank you for being here. Why don't you just kind of share a little bit about your journey to even getting into hypnotherapy, into being a RTT? Like, what actually got you interested in seeing clients, working with clients, and getting certified in that?
Sure. It happened by accident. I was actually For 20 years, I struggled with procrastination, anxiety, low self-esteem, binge eating. I had all kinds of challenges that I was trying to overcome. Going to seminars, walking on fire, going to other seminars from, great authors that helped heal depression and anxiety, and nothing worked for me. I really wanted to change, but I felt really hopeless because I was trying the books and coaching, life coaching, uh, planners, talk therapy, medication. I tried everything to heal and to stop procrastinating, and I even called it lazy-itis. I thought if I didn't have lazy-itis, I could have, all of my dreams come true. And I felt like a big failure. I felt like I was letting my family down. I was a single mom with two daughters, and I couldn't support them on my own with just a job, and I didn't have support or help. And I really felt like a big failure because you hear these things like you have to have a strong why, you have to know what you want and do something you love. But and I had the greatest plans, but whenever it was time for me to execute or to follow through, I would be motivated for just a few minutes and then I'd distract myself or I'd stop or I'd say Monday, okay, Tuesday, okay, Saturday, because I don't have work on Saturday and I'll have time. And then Saturday I'd be motivated for 5 minutes and then I'd get hungry and then I'd eat and then oh, well, I need to take a nap now and I'll wake up refreshed and I'll start on my big dreams and build my dream business and give my kids a better life. And that happened for 20 years. And I felt, what is wrong with me? Why can't I just get out of my own way? And then one day I saw a commercial for subconscious rewiring for success and hypnotherapy. And I said, well, I've tried everything else. What do I have to lose? Let me try this. And it actually worked. And I was the greatest uh, starter. I couldn't finish anything to save my life before. And I started finishing things. And then I said, I need to learn this because everybody else is struggling with all of these things. And trying the books, trying another coach, trying another planner, going to another seminar, reading another book. But what I learned in my training was that all of those are conscious, logical actions. The subconscious is in charge, and it is driving all of our behavior. And whatever beliefs are in our subconscious, it is dictating the thoughts that we have, because the thoughts are logical: thoughts, actions, results. So in order to change the thoughts, the action, the results, you have to figure out what the beliefs are that are hindering you from achieving your goals. So once I got in there and I released, the beliefs that were really holding me back, which is just trying to protect you because you have some deep rooted belief that you may not be successful, that it's not available to you, that's for other people. Whatever those beliefs are in the subconscious. So once I released that, then I realized I needed to learn this to help other people who are also striving but struggling, or kept on hitting a dead end, kept on, let me start over, let me do this again. This time it will work. Now, I'm helping, my favorite area to work in is helping people get unblocked and heal abandonment. Because abandonment is at the core of so many of our wounds, and why we sabotage, and why we, turn to substances, or why we know what to do, but we just keep sabotaging ourselves. So,
So now you're working with people with healing their abandonment issues, and we can definitely talk a little bit more on that note. But I want to talk a little bit about how we met, and share a little bit about when that was, and what kind of brought you to starting to work with me.
yeah, so I know about your book, and people have, recommended your book. And then when I saw you at a conference, I was starstruck. I was like, "Oh my goodness, I have to go meet her and get her autograph." And I had listened to your book, and I just knew I wanted to work with you because um, I have I've built a lot of the discipline and the marketing, but I wanted to take it a level up level, to even using more of the attraction and the manifestation, um, along with the the work that I'm very diligent in now, because I don't have any procrastination challenges, or maybe a little bit, but it's not nothing like before, where now I actually have to stop myself from working, because I'm like, okay, you need to relax, or go on a trip or something.
That
Uh,
worked a little too well.
yes, I need to turn it off and stop thinking. So I really wanted to tap into manifesting, and making it even more of a reality, of daring to dream of not just making a good living, but I mean, it's limitless, when we can tap into that power and manifest and attract. So that's what I've been doing with you. And
Yeah.
and yeah, so
Well,
this is
I
fun.
have all kinds of questions I want to ask you about this, because, see, I think a lot of the listeners that are listening to this right now, we're going to get into the money. We're going to talk about money, and I want to help people to open up their minds to see what is possible, because especially in the spiritual coach healing community, so many of you out there have these money blocks, right? You have these money blocks, and you're making very little, and there's enough to go around. There's plenty of abundance, and Kannary is just like one of the primary examples of what can happen when you start to heal some of these money blocks, and start to realize that you can call in, and that you are worth making whatever it is that you want to make. Can you speak to that just a little bit, and explain to people why it's okay It's okay to be rich. It's okay to make a lot of money. It's okay to have abundance. It's okay to charge what you're worth. Like, can you speak to
Yeah.
that a little bit?
Yes, absolutely. So, I had my first six-figure month uh, recently after we had our last session, and I'm like, pinch me, is this real? But it is, and it's I mean, there's so much underneath it where I don't even I I can't really remember what it felt like to feel like I didn't deserve it or that I was not worthy of charging more because as hypnotherapists, we're incredibly talented and we have, we can tap into the subconscious. We can help people change things that they can't do on their own, even spending decades trying to read another book, trying another coach, using all of the logical things. I call it mowing the lawn, wondering why it grows back. We get to the root. If we are doing, regressing to the root cause, we're releasing at the root these beliefs and then rewiring the mind for exactly what you want. So, because we have this extraordinary skill set that other people don't have, um, I see it very much as I'm not charging for a session. I'm not charging, um, you know, I'm helping change someone's life. They have been stuck in anxiety, in depression, in sugar, over consuming sugar, this weight for years and decades. And what is it worth to be free of not having a panic attack, not sabotaging a good relationship because you have abandonment, not flying into a jealous rage because you have abandonment, not, you know, losing your temper and because you have anger because of abandonment, or not waking up with panic or depression and feeling absolutely hopeless. What would that be worth to be free of that? That is how I think of my work, not how what am I charging a session. It's how am I shifting, um, giving this gift in partnership with this client? It's not, I'm not doing it to you. We're working together in a partnership where we're going to get to the bottom of this and we're going to make an actual shift. And this is the result, this very tangible result, when you can go and you can not have another panic attack again, or you can feel secure in your relationship, or um, stop procrastinating and actually live the life of your dreams. What would that be worth to you? So that is the way that I think about my work, not, and that is having an abundant mindset.
Yeah.
And yeah, does that answer the
A
question?
100%. Yeah. And so for, whether you're on the client side or you're on the coach side, which most of my people that are listening to this, are spiritual coaches and healers, and they're looking for a way to break through and actually have a full-time business, not be juggling their job and their family and their business, but where you can literally live a life of freedom.
Yeah.
And like, how long did it take you to go from you were working, and then you were able to finally break free of that? Like, how long did it take you before you actually started, a real business?
Yeah, so about 2 years. So I
Hmm.
worked as a business operations analyst, and I did have flexibility where I could work remotely for my day job, and then I was seeing clients nights and weekends. So I would start seeing clients at 5 o'clock at night, and then 7 o'clock at night, and I'd work until 9 or 10. But it was so exciting for me to do this, and then I would see clients Saturday and Sunday, and I did that for about 2 years until I felt ready to burst. I was like, okay. And I had my first 30K month, and I said, okay, it's time to um, leave the job and go full in on my practice and make it what I want. So it was exactly 2 years that it took me to go to work for myself full time.
Amazing. Now, when we first started working together, and then I'm also going to mention you also became a member of my Powerful Manifestor Mastermind community.
Mhm.
Um, where were you income-wise before, and what transpired since then, and where would you say you are now?
Yeah. So when we first started working together, I was in the mid six figures a year. So does that make sense? It's like half a million.
Hmm.
And then now I just had my first six-figure month. So I want to stay on that trajectory.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Um,
And congratulations on your first six-figure month. That's a goal. I mean, well, let's get some people to their first five figures.
yeah.
But I think that's a goal for a lot of people.
Here's another thing. It is really good to keep a full-time job while you are starting out in hypnotherapy, until you can make as much income or more from your hypnotherapy. I don't recommend anybody go cold, just hypnosis sessions without a stable foundation of income, because energy is very important. And when that client, if you feel as though I need you to become my client in order to pay the lights, they will feel that. And that comes from a place of lack versus I don't need you to book. I'm the expert. I've got a way to help you. So the energy shift there from a place of I've got this amazing tool that I can help you with. Should you choose to invest in yourself, I will help guide you. I'm not going to do it for you or to you. We're going to work together. That shift to, oh my goodness, am I going to be able to pay my office rent? Please, please, please become my client. That is a very different lack, scarcity, energy. And it doesn't matter what you say. You can be saying something completely different, the words from your mouth, but your body, your unconscious, is telling the whole story with your tone of voice, with your body language, with how you show up, with how you respond, how you communicate. All of it is part of, you know, being successful and attracting uh, the right clients and having abundance.
Yeah,
So,
100%. I
yeah.
can attest to that. I can absolutely attest to that because I unfortunately had something just happened there. I
Yeah.
unfortunately had a situation where, I don't know if you knew my backstory, but I had to make a decision between my six-figure a year job that I had before I became a hypnotherapist, and I was given an ultimatum, and I chose to just throw a caution to the wind and go into my business. But, I had also a different intention because my intention was really to go big with the hypnotic recordings, which everybody thought I was crazy when I did that. They thought, you can't actually make a living on doing what you love and creating these recordings and selling them on the internet. But I said, well, watch me. And I did. But, didn't just come, the day that I left my job. I had to go through, a good year and a half of really just kind of trying to figure my way out and feeling that desperation. And, it is hard to make money when you need it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's much easier to make money when you don't need it. And that's such a balance. So I think that that's amazing, amazing advice. So, so let's talk about like what happened. So I want to talk about two things. One, what happened that got you from the, six figures a year, mid six figures a year, to now all of a sudden six figures in a month and going upward from there. And, let's also maybe talk about what caused you to want to join the Powerful Manifestor Mastermind as well.
Yeah, I think so we had taken a break from our sessions for a while because I was struggling with long COVID and grieving my father and everything. And then um just a few days after our last session, when we did reunite, my energy shifted. And after that hypnosis, my energy shifted. And it really, I'm trying to figure out, but something clicked. And going back, the energy shift of I get to choose how I have my business. I don't have to take on this type of client because I should, it's the bread and butter. It's the, it's what I need to have that solid, that income. It shifted to I get to choose who I work with, only who I want to work with, and I get to paint whatever vision and whatever I want my business to look like. In our session, we set an intention of a certain income, and I just felt a freedom to not have to work with a client, but who I want to work with. And I even thought of it as part-time or boutique or, those clients. But then I said, I'm going to raise my prices and I'm only going to work with um, people who will invest in themselves, show up, and have the exact challenges that I really love helping people with, those dream clients. And I get to choose who my dream clients are. And then I just started attracting them. And yeah, and then with the um, your group program, being around other manifestors, it's so important who you surround yourself with. If you're surrounding yourself with the negative people who don't believe in manifesting, who, they're going to look at you and then you're going to conform to them if you're around people that don't believe. So you want to surround yourself with other people, like-minded people, and then also think of, the five closest people to you. Are they successful? Because the income is usually within that average. So if you can't find a way to be around very successful people physically, stalk them on YouTube, on their podcasts, read their books, feel the energy of being close to them, and surround yourself with really positive, like-minded, driven people. So your group is perfect for that. Everybody in there is like striving, and I'm reading people's bios and I'm like, wow, they're amazing and they're doing so much. And you want to be around those people because energy is contagious versus, people who are not go-getters or to each their own. I'm not putting down people who are not go-getters or anything. Everyone has their whatever makes you happy. Is There's nothing wrong as long as you are, happy doing it. And we choosing to be around other people where their happiness is tied to striving and making more of an impact and giving back and doing their part to heal the world and help the world. That's who I want to hang around with. So I'm surrounding myself with those people as much as possible, and just being very careful about who you give your energy to, if they're draining or if they're giving, or if it's a give and take. And sometimes, if they recharge you or if they drain you. I only hang out with people who uplift me or recharge me, or I feel so happy hanging out with, talking to, having the, uplifting conversations, and not talking about people, but talking about ideas and possibility. Um, then it's limitless. And, being around those people, it's really important for success, what you attract.
Absolutely. Wow. There's so much to unpack. There's so much beautiful advice that you've given so freely. I really appreciate you sharing all of these nuggets because all of them are really important. And especially what you said about like you get to choose who you work with rather than like coming from the mindset of, oh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to find my next client, or how am I going to find my next client, or kind of like that sense of desperation. You are, just like I get to choose who to work with. And so how do you think a person, what would you recommend for the person who's listening right now who like this seems really inconceivable to even make that kind of money? Like they haven't even maybe made their first, 1,000 or 2,000 yet. What would you recommend to that person who might be listening, who's like, okay, how do I get into that energy, or how can I even level up just to make 5,000 a month and then 10 and 50 and beyond?
Yeah. I I'm trying to think back to how I did it, but when I first started doing hypnotherapy sessions, I started with my beta group of free people that I was just, if this works for you, will you give me a testimonial? And
Mm,
I was very willing to work for free for years. Not free sessions, but uh, I was not looking at profit. I was doing it from a place of trust that I'm making a difference in people's lives, and if that is my only payment, oh my goodness, I'm so grateful. And then the money followed. I know it sounds cliche, do something you love, help people, and the money will follow.
that was
Serve,
my mantra when I started.
yeah,
So
service
it's
to
not,
many.
yeah.
Service to many leads to greatness, and doing it not from a place of, oh, how much am I going to make, but from a place of um, wow, I'm so lucky I get to do this hypnotherapy, which I love to do, and someone's willing to pay me for it. And that love and your dedication to your client's success, like that was all that mattered to me. I
Yeah.
didn't look at the money because I had my job, but all that mattered to me was that I was helping them have a breakthrough. And when you go in with that energy of the goal is to help the client, if they are not happy, I will refund them. I don't want to keep anything that's not that they don't feel good about, because that is not worth any of it, right? So keeping that balance very clean and wanting to just do an amazing job and help your client as much as possible, they will feel that, they will feel grateful. And when you're giving them actual results and other people see, it spreads. People are like, you're different. How are you different? And then they talk about you, and then your business grows, coming from just growing and wanting to help people, and then the money, follows. And then, so not like, I need to book 5 clients this month because I need to make this much. I didn't even count that. I didn't even look at that. I just, you know who can I help? What can I
Mm.
help them with? What is really painful that I can help them with that no one else can? And coming from a place of service there, that's what, um, start not just thinking that, and then later on setting a kind of goal. So after 6 months or so, I started. My partner said, "How much do you want to make?" And then he said, "Let's put it on the mirror." And I wrote the number on the mirror, like a crazy number that I did not think I could, even do. And I ended up meeting it because I saw it every day when I went into um, you know, in the morning, and that number, the reticular activating system got activated, and it started to attract, and somehow it subconsciously, I reached that first goal after we wrote that number and put it right on the mirror. So that, and having that, seeing that all the time. Um,
Amazing.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, no, that's I love the, it's that law of reciprocity.
yeah.
What you put out, you get back manyfold, and it's just that genuine desire to help others, and when it really comes from that genuine place, which clearly it does, you are paid, in it, but you also have to believe that you're worth it. You have to believe that you are worth it. So what would you say to somebody who is kind of thinking about, um, you know, starting this kind of path?
Oh my gosh, it's a no-brainer. Like, what is there to think about? Just go. We start yesterday.
I mean, you've
Uh,
been in the
or
program.
should I go back to what I've been doing that hasn't worked? Like,
Yeah.
obviously, there's someone, an expert that knows. how to get there and what to do and is willing to help you. That's when you're waiting for someone to come and rescue, that's it. Like, go. This is your sign.
I was
Um,
also going to ask you one quick
yeah.
thing because there was something that you pointed out in our last session when we talked, when I was like, "Oh my God, you did this! You got to tell my people!" And I was so excited,
Yeah.
And you said, I want to give credit where credit is due, to this mastermind, but I also want people to know
Yeah.
that there's a lot of other things that are behind the scenes, like the marketing. So
Yeah.
how much would you say is mindset versus strategy and marketing? And then we'll just kind of like, leave it at that because I don't want to give people this idea that's like, oh, just come in and, make your manifestation desire statement and all your dreams are going to come true. There is some other things that go along with that. So if you want to share a little bit about what goes on behind the scenes.
Yeah. Oh, I've invested so much into marketing and studying marketing material, books, and coaching and learning sales and marketing. You have to. Um, it is foundational, but the mindset part, because when you are working for yourself, the good news is you work for yourself. The bad news is you work for yourself. You have to have um, an ironclad mindset and the entrepreneurial spirit of relentlessness, resilience, and being such a student of uh, getting the marketing books, getting the sales books, reading it, learning it, practicing. There is not, you want to run a marathon, you're going to have to train. You're not going to just I'm gonna run 27 miles, you have to put in the practice, the training, and be an athlete. You can't win the championship if you didn't train. So but to be an athlete, you also have to have the perseverance and this mindset of I'm going to achieve no matter what, and I'm going to put in the work. If it takes, years of doing this, it's not a month. It's like, let's do this for years. If this is your real goal, your real dream, not I'm going to try this. We're human beings, not human tryings. I'm going to try this, and it's who you become. All of the books and the mindset is who you need to become to be the expert, to help people, not the things you do. We can all be doing the same things, but who are you becoming? What is your mindset? What is at your core that will attract, that will help you attract success and build your dream practice, your dream business. So it is, and doing all of the things that requires, it's like you can't become a brilliant surgeon if you don't go to medical school and you do all, no one's going to let you operate, right? So you've got to put in years. I don't want someone that went to a 3 day to become a surgeon, right?
Yeah.
Um, and
Exactly.
studying from the top people in the world, hiring the experts to coach you. Oh my goodness, I can save 20 years of making mistakes by going to this person who has this formula that took them 10 years to develop. Let me go and learn from them, learn the shortcut, but also be willing to do the work and the homework that they're giving you, because the universe rewards people who uh, don't need it. They deserve it because they put in the time, the effort, and they had the mindset. It's so many different factors.
There are
Yeah.
a lot of factors, and I just wanted to thank you so much for bringing all that up because, yeah, it is, there, you have to know a few things, and at the end of the day, you can know all the skills, you can know all the marketing, you can have the best website in the world, you can have all of the funnels and the automations, but if you don't have your mindset
Yeah.
and your energy in the right place, nothing's going to manifest. And thank you for being here and sharing about your journey and your story. And you've just been a blessing to work with. I love work. You are now my ideal client you're the kind of person I work with. I help, entrepreneurs who are go-getters and working on getting themselves, to the next level. And so these are the kind of people that I like to work with. And, of course, I work with, people that are just starting out, but you're the ideal client in my mind.
Thank
And
you so much
so
for your gift. Thank you so much for helping me. I'm so grateful.
I love it. I love it. And I love how coachable you have been. I mean, you've just every single session you come, you do the work, you're open, you're receptive, and you come back and you've done the homework, and that's what it takes. This is the prime example here of what it takes. And so I just really appreciate you being my client. I appreciate you being a member of the Powerful Manifestors Mastermind. And, thank you for the transformation that you have chosen to make in your life so that you can be a model for all the other RTT, hypnotherapists, spiritual healers, coaches out there who you're going to change people's lives just by people watching this and seeing what is possible.
Thank you. Thank you again. Mm.
Thank you. So, last thing before we part ways today, and again, thank you so much for being such an amazing guest on our show today. If somebody, who has the abandonment issues that you love working with and helping people to heal through, if somebody out there is dealing with that and they want to work with you, how can they get in touch with you? What's the best way?
Sure. So my website is alohawellness.life, and they can also find me on Instagram. It's Rewire with Kannary, and yeah, alohawellness.life, and I'm also on Facebook. So
Wonderful.
yeah, yeah.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show once again. And to our audience, thank you for listening and have an abundant day.
Mm, thank